Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jamaica 411. Thank you so much for stopping by, keeping me company as usual. If you're here with me for the first time, welcome, welcome. Please remember to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, share, and feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. To my subscribers, welcome back. Always nice to have you. You know the ropes. You're going to give the video a thumbs up from now on, please, as well as share, and then you return so that we can get on with it. And I want to thank you all in advance. So now that you're back with me, let's get down to business.
And so, Mr. President, that is why I made the effort. I know it was a risk, but I made the effort to bring this to our attention. And I know the other image is another risk. Big risk, but this is not. Because we are here contemplating serious things this year. And I want for us to have a look at that image. Now, Mr. President, I am not here to critique, to say, talk about the mockery that was made. I'm not here to say that, look at the fact, this is not a color, skin color thing, no. Out of many, we are one people. But Mr. President, for me, it is the decision-making process of someone who is seeking the leadership of this country. My son is there. And when I was preparing this slide, I did not want him to see this because I introduced it to him. I introduced it to him in the right way because in my mind, the leader of the longest black democracy in Jamaica, in the world, should not have the possibility of that image being found. The possibility, whatever made him make that decision to do that, it causes me to question his capacity to make decisions as a leader. I am not talking about skin color. I'm not talking about the fact that he was playing a skit to remove the shackles of the gut. No. This is the image that is embedded, that is there now for the world, for every generation. Can you imagine this now? We are going fully into being a republic. And this would be or the possibility thereof. And this would be the image that we would have of our Prime Minister. No. That is not what I'm arguing, Mr. Senator Brown. My argument is the decision-making capacity of someone who already is established to have possible dual allegiancy, who is not clearly committed to Jamaica. Mr. President, in knowing ourselves, we must know who we have at the helm of leadership. And I want each and every one of you over there to look at that. And without any form of explanation, relate to your children that is your leader. No. What is wrong with it? Well, Floyd, I understand because you can't see it. And so, Mr. President, I have incited a response because I am hitting truth. I am hitting truth. I am not arguing about that. My argument is the decision to have been caught in such a compromising position. That is my argument. It is none of that. It is the fact that a leader, an aspirant to the office of leading this proud country could be caught in this position. And so, Mr. President, I now go back, I now take it back to knowing ourselves in leadership, Mr. President, we are now comparing, you see?
Yeah, her son is crying. Hold your progress that too.
No, darling, no, that is the truth.
I just got around us a while ago, and I see this man with a chain around him neck, and somebody ask him, what exactly happened to your big stone? Andrew Willis have me on a bondage for 7 years, and we tired of the labor right. Lord have mercy. I get a feeling, I have a feeling that Mark Golden has the key to release him out of bondage. I get a feeling. I have a feeling. I say I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I say I have a feeling.
So I want you all to take a closer look at this. There it is, Mark Golden taking off the chain. But he's holding on to the chain. His intention is to take the chain from Big Stone, but Big Stone is still holding it. Watch him good now. Watch him talking to Big Stone. More miracle. Watch him stretch out his hand to take the chain. You see it? Yes, you saw that? Yes, and Big Stone take the chain and gone like all slaves. Right? They want to hold on to the chain that held them in bondage. Hence the mental slavery. Now, why did I show you this? To make the solid point that if the man who had the key, remember what this skit was about? It was supposed to have been about a man being held in bondage with a chain around his neck, held in bondage by Andrew Holness, who is the Prime Minister and a black man with the same common heritage as ourselves. Well, yes, right? And he's the one who is the Prime Minister and he's leading the country. And here is this black man saying that this black man who is leading this country has him in bondage with a chain round his neck. That's what the skit was about. But then, who was it that held the key to the padlock of this chain that was round this black man's neck? The white man, Mark Golding, the leader of the opposition. He was the one who had the key to release him from bondage. So, if it was Andrew Holness who held this man in bondage, how is it that Mark Golding had the key to release him? Clearly, the key was in his pocket because the chain and the lock belonged to him. Don't it stand to reason? Don't when you buy chain and you buy a lock for the chain, don't you get a key with it? Yes. So he had the key in his pocket and he proudly showed the audience the key that he had in his pocket. And he opened it with his left hand, the padlock, and was trying to take the chain out of Mr. Big Stone hands. But he was very adamant he must hold on to this chain that bound him, that the white man bound him with. And then eventually had his hand underneath to receive the chain, and Big Stone still held on to it and pushed past him and went forward holding on to this chain. So it was he, Mark Golding, the white man, enacting what happened many years ago with his ancestors. Yes, Benjamin Nunes and his wife, Esther Nunes, way back, just before slavery was abolished. They were there claiming from the British government monies in compensation for the 50 slaves that they had. Right? That was what they had at that point. We don't know how many they had before. We'd have to go and check the library books at the Island Records Office to see what transactions there were in their names. Nonetheless, this white man, their descendant, is now enacting on a stage, right, with a black man, a willing black man. He had the key. So if he had the key and the padlock on the chain belonged to him, then it stands to reason that it was he, Mark Golding, that Englishman who cock up in our parliament illegally, and him put the chain round the black man's neck and padlock it. And put the key in him pocket in the first place. A for him chain and a for him key. Right? For the padlock. That padlock the chain round the man's neck. And then him having prize bowl telling lie. So the black man had to put the chain around the black man's neck. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying, my people. Yes. Mark Golding buy the chain and the lock. Put the chain and the lock round and padlock it round the black man's neck. And start the skit. He had the key in his pocket. Yes. That's what the prize bull said. And him had the key. And then them turn round and tell lie. To you, my people. And the comrades who were present. That it was Andrew Holness who put the chain round the black man's neck and hold him in bondage. When it's this white man you're looking at that did it. Typical of what they're doing, about everything that them doing. Walk and tell lies. Because them have a prize in mind. Yes, man, them need to get the power. And the black man standing in them way. So, whatever it is that they feel they need to do to get that power, they are prepared to do it.
The People's National Party has put our 63 candidates in place. And we are ready for them to call the election so we can beat them street and lane and return dignity to Jamaica House.
Well, old time people say not make for say anything. Here is this man talking about bringing dignity to Jamaica House. My goodness. But it was his remark about the 63 candidates. So they have 63 candidates in place, and he's saying that by virtue of having those 63 candidates, they are ready now for an election. But is that all it takes to be ready for an election? The 63 candidates? Yes, I suppose you made a start. There is the organization on the ground. There is the financing. I would think that there is also the policies, which we have not heard in 4 years, except for the time when they submitted the bogus report to the 2-day NEC round about 2023, I do believe. Right? That report was supposed to be the policy that the NEC voted on. And that basically said that they are going to be operating an economy that is what they call a mixed economy. The objective, they said, was to create a society of equity and equality and so on. Of course, you know that that's not achievable. You'll never be able to create even before the law, you'll never be able to create an equitable society before the law. No, because you will always have an instance where you have the people who are high, those with money, and those who are low, those without money. And when you go before the court and you are required to pay lawyers, the man with the big tall up pocket is going to get the better lawyer, and you may not. So this fallacy, this fantasy about equality before the law is, well, I guess you may call it something to hope for, but it will never be attained because of the system, right? Now, that is what them say in that report. Equality and equitable society, equality before the law, and so on and so forth. And then you have the market economy. And what they propose is a minimalist government. A minimalist government just to regulate and leave the private sector to do them thing. What they were describing in that policy document was a capitalist system. So what they are proposing in a country where we have a middle class that is very 200,000 maybe of the working class, and the vast majority, 83% of the people are working minimum wage and less, and the minimum wage is not even anything look like what them get in a foreign. The minimum wage is $2.42 per hour, which is practically half of what they get in the Bahamas, more than half less than what they're getting in places like the Cayman Islands, and so on. And certainly at least 1/3 or thereabouts of what they're getting in the United States. And that is just the federal minimum wage. So you want to go and operate a capitalist system with your people in that condition, where up to one point we heard that we had over 700,000 people, more than half the population that's working, that have no skills. And then you think now that you can operate a capitalist system on that basis? Where Matalan told the government way back in 2005 that when them changed they reformed the tax system by taking the burden of the taxation from the rich people and put it squarely on the shoulders of the poor through the GCT, and people get hurt, they should not use the tax system in order to help them. Surely, he said, we can think of another way. I don't know what that is, right? So these are the policies we know they're coming with. And we know that because the Englishman had things to say at this conference you will hear Natalie call the Suck Your Mother Conference, right? But we will come to him shortly. Let's listen to see if Dayton had anything else to say that may be of interest to us.
We're not afraid of no boy, no girl, no place, nowhere, no day. But I want to say something to them. They are going around, and it's almost every day that them and their friends think that them can come and pitch on the leader of the People's National Party. Well, the leader of the PNP don't have to say a word in his defense, because him have somewhere we are stand up in front time, and we big and broad, and we don't afraid, and no boy nowhere not there. Them a go on like them just want the thing descend into cascas. The other day I said to myself, say, how is it that Dr. Sapphire Longmore there in the Senate, and Andrew Wallace no give her nothing to do? In carrying all day and give her ministry, in carrying Apka and give him parliamentary secretary, him not give Sapphire nothing to do. Me hear she open her mouth Friday and me say me understand why she don't get nothing to do, because she don't write it, man. She don't. How can you get up and go in the parliament of the land and gone up there boy and question people mental capacity? I don't know about fear mental capacity, but I'm questioning her capacity to do nothing, because the Prime Minister don't see it fit to appoint her to nothing at all, which means that he does not believe she's competent.
So, Mas Dayton, no call him there for me a little bit. You don't think that's Sapphire Longmore righted? What it is that she said that gave you the impression that she not righted? Where she said, where she talking about her son Leo? Is that it? Or where Donna Scott said that she's traumatizing her own son? And why did Donna say a thing like that? What it was that Sapphire Longmore, the psychiatrist, was saying in the parliament? Why Donna Scott said that she was traumatizing her own son? Let me show you that image, just in case you'll take hearsay and then watch it for yourself.
I have a feeling, I still have a feeling
remember now? Yes, it was in 2023. When was it again? September 10, 2023. The week before conference, I do believe. Yes, man, you were having a feeling. And this was what she had showing on the system, video system in the parliament, in the Senate. And this is what she was talking about. She said it has nothing to do with color. I don't know why, but it has everything to do with color. Right? This is your man who you want to lead Jamaica, exercising what, in her opinion, was poor judgment. Where did you get it from that she was questioning his mental capacity? Perhaps that's what it amounts to. But she did not actually use those words, but we thank you very much for using those words, because what you have now done is open up the gate so that we can discuss this man's mental capacity. She was referring to, let me read it for you. It was in the form of a question. The first thing that she said was whatever made him make that decision to do that. And she pointed at this image. It causes me to question his capacity to make decisions as a leader. You hear that? The lady said, the senator said, the one where you senator righted. She stood up and said she don't know what could have make him do it. What it is that made him think him should do that. Right? And that is what made her question his capacity to make decisions as a leader. You hear anything about the woman questioning his mental capacity? Is it that you interpreted her words as questioning Mark Golding's capacity to make decisions as a leader, as questioning his mental capacity? Perhaps. But that's not what she said. She went on to say, when she and Lambert was going at it, my argument is the decision-making capacity of someone who already is established to have possible dual allegiance, who is not clearly committed to Jamaica. And notice that she used the word possible dual allegiance, because it has not yet been established that Mark Golding is entitled to hold a Jamaican passport. Before 2011 May, he was traveling all his life, all his 46 years on this earth, on a British passport, which he gained automatically because his father was a British citizen. So he became a British citizen by virtue of English law, the 1948 British Nationality Act. That was what made him an automatic British citizen. Doesn't matter where he was born. We do not know yet what the condition of his parents were, whether they were simple, ordinary British citizens living in Jamaica, or one of them had diplomatic status, or British law made them immune from prosecution abroad, in which event he would not be entitled to Jamaican citizenship unless he applied like somebody who is coming from abroad. That is Section 3A of the Constitution of Jamaica, right? So being born here with a Jamaican birth certificate does not mean that you're automatically a Jamaican citizen. No, it depends on whether his parents or one of them, both of whom were born abroad, had diplomatic immunity. So his situation is one where he did not see any reason to have a Jamaican passport until he came into politics. And even then, he waited 4 years to apply. You ask the question, so how was he able to travel on a British passport without a permanent residency or a citizenship, or how was he able to re-enter Jamaica? well, then he would have had stamped in his passport what is called an unconditional landing permit. That permit allows foreign nationals to be able to live and work as well as attend school in Jamaica. That was what he was doing for 46 years of his life. He's now what, 60 this year in July, right? So for the vast majority of his life, he had a British passport, and it was that British passport which enabled him to live and work in Jamaica because he had stamped in it an unconditional landing permit, Jamaican law. So when Sapphire Longmore stated that he has possible dual allegiance, that is because he is claiming that he is a Jamaican citizen by birth, but we have not seen any evidence of any such thing. And up to now, we don't know if he's entitled to hold a Jamaican passport, which he has shown us that he did hold a Jamaican passport. So the question of his capacity in terms of his decision making and the fact that he's a foreign national is what is concerning the senator. That he should think that it is okay for him to put a chain around a black man's neck because the key belonged to him, and if the key belonged to him, the padlock belonged to him, and therefore the chain by extension must belong to him. And if all of these things belong to him and it's found around the black man's neck, then I must him put it around them neck. That's exactly what our history is, right? We were never people with chains around our necks until we came in contact with these abominations, right? And they decide that what they are going to do is to declare their superiority above us and make us into slaves. Yes, a law was passed to that effect. Only we alone should be made slaves, nobody else. So they had something in their minds that they wanted to accomplish. They know who we are, even if we don't, and they know who they are, right? They are an abomination to nature itself and to the universe. That's why nature and the universe is rebelling against them, wiping them out, right? Unable to have the children that they want to have. They have to be using all kind of artificial means because they're an abomination, right? However, they came to this earth and they know it is not holding up. Their bodies are declining. And that's why you see them so quick to be looking to marry into black people now. Because they know exactly what is going on with them, even if you don't. Yes, man. So, that was what Sapphire Longmore was questioning. His decision-making capacity. If you can't make good decisions when you're in our position, then when it comes to the test now, where you have to make decisions, challenging decisions now, as Prime Minister, how you're going to be able to do so? How are you going to be able to make sound decisions? Decisions that will make lives of people better or make it worse? When the next COVID-19 or its equivalent comes around, and you have this jackass in the parliament as Prime Minister, what kind of decision will he make concerning those diseases? And then if he is not capable of making sound decisions, what then will happen to the rest of us? These are the things that Sapphire Longmore was asking about. And this is not the only time he has shown poor judgment. No, he was the one encouraging the comrades to go on voting dead people's name. You remember that? Yes, that was poor judgment. And there are many, many others. But let us hear what else Dayton Campbell had to say, if anything.
but the poultry industry gets protected by 260%. The reason why is because we have 100,000 small farmers in Jamaica who grow 25, 50, 75, 100 chicken and sell to the corner shop and sell to the schools and sell to the local tuck shop so them can survive. I am saying, I mean, now apologize for saying that we need to take some out of the money where them already are charged the tax on the imports and focus on our local farmer so our local farmers can get help from RADA with land preparation. They can get access to loans, they can get access to storage, they can get access to market, they can get access to irrigation supply. We want to build our people.
So let me see if I get this straight, Dayton. You are saying, are you, that you want to take some money, according to you now, you change your mouth now, because before that you wanted to tax the food, the imported foods coming in, but you change your mouth now. You're not going to tax the people, you're just going to take a portion of the tax that is already on the imported food. That's what you're saying, right? So let us look at your argument. We're giving you the, benefit of the doubt, and we're looking at your arguments. And you are saying, right, that what you want to do is to build our people. Is that what you said? Yes? And you are saying that in order to build our people, these are the things you're going to be doing. You're going to take some of the money from all for the import tax, and you're going to create a dedicated fund. You never said that here, but I'm reminding the people that's what you said. So you're going to be taking that money and you're going to do these several things. You say you want to get some of that money to RADA so that they can help the farmers with land preparation, which is clearing the land and making the land ready for planting, right? Of course, we all know that there are other forms of agriculture outside of planting, but you haven't said what you're going to do for those in dairy or the fishery or the various types of agriculture. But let us deal with what you're dealing with. So you say, okay, so you want money now to go to RADA so the RADA can help the farmers who need help with land preparation. You say that they can get access to loans. So some of the money will be loaned to those farmers, and you can discuss the interest rate later, I imagine. Then you said they can get access to storage, they can get access to markets, and get access to irrigation supplies. And you're saying that these 5 elements of your plan is what will build our people. That's what you're saying, right? Clearing the land, making them have access to loans, making them have access to storage, making them have access to markets and irrigation systems. That would be 5 elements of your agricultural plan, according to you, to build our people. So, if this is what it takes to build our people, I want to find out from you, why should the people of Jamaica change the present government to install you? Because what you are announcing is precisely what the Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced in his New Year's message. Let's listen.
Now, as we close the 2024 chapter, we will build on the successes we have achieved, but more importantly, we will take what we have learned and the challenges expressed by our people and write the next chapter in Jamaica's prosperity story, the 2025 chapter. This year, as I've already signaled, the government will pivot to a laser focus on growth. Growth is important to increase revenues and income, but more important, increasing output efficiently can reduce the cost of the output to you, the consumer. This is particularly true for agriculture. The Minister of Agriculture was tasked last year to develop a plan to boost agricultural production for the most consumed staples and protein in our local food basket. Our potatoes, red peas, onions, cabbage, carrots, tilapia, goat meat, and the like. This will be good for the farmers, you the consumers, and the country as a whole, as we could potentially save foreign exchange on the items we substitute with competitive local output. Your government will invest this year close to Jamaican $1 billion on capital infrastructure in storage facilities across Jamaica for our farmers. The Southern Plains Agricultural Development Program between Clarendon and St. Catherine will irrigate 1,400 acres of land, which will be commissioned this year. The Essex Valley Irrigation Scheme between Manchester and St. Elizabeth will bring on stream another 2,600 acres of land, and we will break ground for the Pedro Plains Irrigation Scheme, the largest irrigation program in Jamaica's history, to bring a further 6,000 acres of land into production, which will take water from the Black River to our most arable agricultural areas. We will also be supporting our farmers with a program of mechanization and technology integration. Growing and building resilience in the agricultural sector is an important strategy for our food security and limiting the impact of food inflation.
So, Mas Dayton, what you hear the Prime Minister say? You hear him say anything? What I heard him talk about was the boosting of agricultural production for most consumed staples, he said, and protein items that are in the local food basket. And he named them potato, yes, your main subject, and onion. I'm going to increase the production of potatoes and onions. Yes, you'll be pleased to hear. Red peas, cabbage, carrots, tilapia, goat meat, and the like. In other words, any other protein given food, right? That is what them say them plan to do, and them are the government now. You have to come tell with something different what you going to do. And you have not said anything different so far, except that you're going to be taking money from imported food items, the tax on imported food items. The government is already telling us that this is what they're going to do. And they're not saying that they're going to take the tax from anywhere. So presumably, they have already budgeted for this boost in agricultural production. And he said what them going to be boosting and how. What is the plan? They are going to be increasing the irrigation. Already, apparently, they have 4,000 between Clarendon, St. Catherine, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. They have two systems that are going to come on stream this year, and they are breaking ground for 6,000 acres in the Pedro Plains in St. Elizabeth. And just in case you want to know where that is, let me give you a hint. So it says the key communities in the span of the project. This is the irrigation project we're talking about now, the 6,000 acres. It says project area include Parotee, Salt Spring, Fuller's Wood, Vineyard, Success, Big Woods, Barbary Hall, Beacon, Newcomb Valley, Little Park, Williamsfield, Watchwell, Hopewell, Newell, Claremont Park, Ridgepen, Mountainside, Hounslow, which already exists, I do believe, Geneva, Round Hill, Pedro Cross, Flaggerman, Treasure Beach, Congo Hole, Bellevue, Queensbury, Seaview, Powell Town, Top Hill, Mayfield, Yardley, Chase, Lover's Leap, Corby, Berlin, Ballards Valley, and Southfield, which is where Dayton was making his promise that he went ban the importation of potatoes and onion. I don't know why he decided to pitch on those two food items, but that's what he did at that meeting when he told us that he was going to put, if you fool enough to go take him and the Englishman put in a Jamaica house, right? Before we can, if we can't get rid of them before that, if we cannot get rid of them before the election, and them think that you fool enough to go take them and put them in Jamaica house, them want to put a tax on food in order to provide the funding for all of these projects that the government currently budgeted for, because he could not be talking about these irrigation systems to supply water to 10,000 acres of farmland in the southern belt of the island without having the money already budgeted. So this little hurriedly put together policy proposal of the risers, right, and Dayton Campbell, that they are going to, what's the word them say? Build our people. Now, it seems to me that the holder said that they going to put in irrigation, and Dayton described that as building our people. So what he, in a sense, is saying that wholeness and the government providing irrigation to these 10,000 acres of land, farmland, is building Jamaica, building our people. That's basically what they're saying. They're building our people and by extension building Jamaica. That's what he's saying. Dayton Campbell is also saying that it is building our people, the idea of increasing our food production. And he specifically referred to potatoes and onions. He want to grow that locally. And here it is that Wholeness said that they are planning to increase the potatoes, red peas, onions, cabbage, carrots, even more than what Dayton spoke about. So in essence, what Dayton is saying is that Wholeness, his political opponent, is building our people. Don't that stand to reason? If that is what it means to build our people, then if the government is actually doing it, not proposing to do it, not promising to do it, but they are actually doing it because they have already brought on stream, or in any event will sometime during this year, which means that it's being constructed now, it's being done. 4,000 acres of land will be under irrigation. Then that will definitely increase production. So that is what Dayton says is building our people. He also spoke about storage. That's Dayton Campbell. And the Prime Minister said in the coming year, they will be spending $1 billion across Jamaica to build storage facilities for the farmers, right? That is what Dayton calls building our people. So he's in essence saying that at the moment, that is what the Wholeness government is doing. He's not coming to say that he's going to do something different. Not at all. But he's saying and promising that a PNP government, if you're stupid enough to put them in power, as they are at the moment, will be providing funds to RADA so that they can assist the farmers in land clearing. Now, that may sound as if it's different, but listen to what Wholeness said, that they propose to support farmers with mechanization. What is mechanization? Instead of the farmer using, machete and all them kind of thing there to prepare the land, they will be providing them with the farming equipment, such as tractors with plows and harrowers and all them kind of something there that will prepare the land. So it's the same thing. How would the government provide them with these things? Has to be through the Ministry of Agriculture, and it's the RADA system that does that. And I expect that the farmers will be paying for these items as they use it. They pay for irrigation water, and I expect they will pay RADA for the use of the equipment. Charged on a per hourly basis, I do believe. So they are not saying anything different from what the government is saying. So therefore, when Dayton Campbell is talking about that what him want to do is to build our people. He is in essence saying, since it's the same thing the government is doing and proposing to do, that the government is building our people. I don't know about these people and their messaging, but that's what he's saying. So what's the difference between the two plans? Okay, so the source of funding. Already the government has budgeted what it is they're going to be spending money on for all these items. But these expenditures on the part of the government is one-off. You're going to put in the irrigation system. You don't have to maintain it. It earn its own keep. You put in the storage, same thing. You increase the production by increasing the irrigation and so on. And the mechanization, which means that the farmers will be able to more efficiently produce and increase their production. But here's the thing. So the government can pay for all of these through the efficient collection of taxes. Remember, it's the Englishman who told us that the government oftentimes is collecting over $100 billion more than they have budgeted for. They can spend that money and do something with it, right? But what it is that the opposition is proposing is a dedicated fund, which means that they are going to have to increase taxes to fund the program. And it doesn't matter whether it's existing tax they intend to use to fund the program. Why? Because if they are going to be shifting money from one area to another area in terms of spending, it means they're going to have to find resources to plug the gap. And that would necessarily mean more taxes. So, they can't get away from that. Once you're introducing a new program that is going to be permanent, then you need new taxes to fund it. It's as simple as that. The other difference between the two plans is what Dayton Campbell said about what the money will be used for. Some of it in an event would be provided as loans to farmers. So presumably they will be lending them money to pay rather for the land preparation. And of course, they're going to need money to, plant and all them kind of something there. The next question now is who will be borrowing this money? Of course, the vast majority of our farmers are subsistence. They do not own the land that they farm on. Very few do. And chances are, if they have not mortgaged the land already, that they are the only ones that will be able to borrow. So here is a $1 million question. If you are coming with an agricultural policy which is mirroring what it is that the government is doing and proposed to do, why should anybody remove the present government to put you in place? That is the question, the $1 million question, and that is the long and short of it. Your proposals are no way essentially different from the government. So why should the people put them aside and put you in? And this is part of the problem that bunch of treacherous risers are facing. No plans, no policies, and no vision. And that, my friends, is the long and short of it. Anyway, I hope you found this video very interesting. If you do, please remember to subscribe, like, and share, as well as feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. So until next time, take good care of yourselves and walk good.